I never doubted that I could make money. I doubted that I could keep it. That was the pattern. I could work. I could find opportunities. I could always create money again. But somewhere inside me, I already believed that whatever came in would eventually disappear. And in this video, we're going to talk about no matter how much action you take in creating something new or bringing something into your life, without becoming the person that can hold it, it will always disappear. And we will see that our beliefs run our lives. No matter how much I made, I expected to return to zero. Even when I saved, part of me believed something would happen. An expense would appear. A problem would come. The money would leave me and I would be back to where I started. For a long time, I thought this was simply my reality. I thought this is what money did around me. It came, it stayed for a short time, then it disappeared. But eventually, I had to ask a different question. Was I only describing a pattern? Or was I also expecting it? Because when you expect something to disappear, you do not build the same relationship with it as someone who expects it to remain. You do not hold it with the same confidence. You do not protect it with the same intention. And truthfully, you do not see yourself as someone capable of keeping it. That was the real issue. My identity said, I am capable of making money. But it did not yet say, I am capable of holding money. I built the identity of an earner. I had not built the identity of a keeper. And this is where the builder's code became real for me. Identity becomes expression. Expression becomes structure. Structure produces consequence, which is power. My identity was, money never stays with me. My expression was the sentence I repeated. It will all disappear eventually. The sentence became an expectation. It really did. Even when I look back now, it really, really did. And that expectation became part of the way I handled money. The final consequence was always familiar. Back to zero. The shift began when the belief changed. Not when I magically imagined more money, because I was good at imagining more money and creating more. Not when every expense disappeared. It's before all of that. The change was that I stopped accepting loss as my natural financial identity. I began to believe that money was allowed to remain with me. That keeping money was not strange. It was not temporary. It was not something that belonged only to other people. And after that belief began to change, I noticed something simple. I kept more money, literally. And then it started to compound in the opposite direction, where I started expecting to see more money and count more money, and it's going to get more. The pattern began to change because I no longer saw returning to zero as inevitable. This taught me something bigger than money. Sometimes we focus entirely on what we are, on what we want, on what we are aiming to attract, create, or earn. But we fail to ask whether we have built the identity capable of holding it. You can attract an opportunity and still expect to lose it. You can build a relationship and still expect it to end. You can create success and still feel that it doesn't belong to you. You can receive more while carrying an identity that is preparing to return to less. That is why the first architecture is the mind. Not because it replaces action, but because your internal expectations can influence the structure you build around what arrives. Yeah, if we remember the 4 pillars, 1, 3, 1. Identity, expression, structure, power. Here is the question I want you to ask yourself. Complete this sentence honestly, and it's very simple. Like, the first things that come to you is normally the truth. Yeah? Money always. Money always disappears. Money always creates problems. Money is always difficult. Money never stays with people like me. Do not judge the answer. Just notice it. Just hear what you said to yourself first, or which one resonated with you most, or what you actually said to yourself. Because that sentence may be revealing the financial world you expect to experience. Then ask yourself, is this an absolute truth, or is this a pattern I have learned to expect. My old belief was that I would always return to zero. My new belief is that I am capable of creating, holding, and directing what comes into my life. That does not remove responsibility, it increases it. They say our Creator gives you more as you manage better. So the better I managed money, the more money I was able to manage. And also it increases it because when the belief changes, the builder has to change with it. This is 1331. Do not only ask what you can create. Ask whether you have become capable of holding it.